June 19th, 1 p.m. Hello, diary. I realize it's been at least a fortnight since we've spoken, but I seem to have some extra time today, seeing as I've once again been fired from the bowling alley. The scope of my employment there was inasmuch limited to dispensing rental shoes to unwitting plebs to play the most pointless game ever. I detest sports, diary, but you already knew that. But apparently, it's a crime to practice your Japanese with the so-called customers, and to stealthily switch the karaoke discs with those mix CDs I've been making of the best anime theme songs. Some people just can't stand it when someone's better at karaoke than them at their own birthday, I suppose. Manager Dan, up to whom I all but looked until now, also mentioned something about my, quote, pungent musk, but I think he was just intimidated by my raw masculinity. Don't get me wrong, diary, of course I bathe, occasionally. I think anything more than twice a week is a little excessive, don't you? Why would I want to wash off my pheromones? How am I ever to attract a female if I am constantly showering? Anyway, diary, you see, that's what's brought me to the mall today. Now, normally I despise this place. All these NPCs spending money on frivolous trinkets and extra name-brand clothes just to benefit the corpos. I swear, if I see one more person touting a Starbucks drink, I'll... Anyway, you know me, diary. I only need a few outfits. Today, I'm wearing my usual ensemble of previously torn Crocs, which I've craftfully mended with duct tape, my trusty Rainbow Dash socks, reliable cargo shorts complete with dual pocket Doritos should I crave a snack, my now 12-year-old Dragon Ball Z shirt, a gentlemanly fedora to add some class, a faux leather trench coat to add some edge, and some trusty tactical fingerless gloves, just in case. Now, yes, diary, I know what you're thinking. I've had this shirt since I was 14, and I do admit it has always been a little snug. I've never washed it for fear of it shrinking, but it has always left my belly mostly exposed, now more so than ever. This is no matter. I see it as a sign of dominance and success. I clearly am a man of means to support a full body such as this. The stupid mall security guard brought a police officer over to me just after I stepped inside the entrance, and told me I could not bring my katana inside. Can you believe that, diary? I bought that katana at this very mall. Well, I suppose he was just doing his job. Keeping the public safe, I mean. He likely could tell from the smirk I shot him that while I never intended on using my blade, I am definitely skilled in wielding it. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. I'm not too mad about it. Always a win for me when I can strike fear into the hearts of other males, especially so-called alphas like Officer Scaredy-Cat. So, diary, that's what's brought me to this cornermost seat in the food court today. I was perchance thinking of trying to get my other old job back at GameStop, but you know how I feel about groveling. Besides, Litecoin is poised to skyrocket any day, and that cash-out would support me for at least a few months. Yes, diary, I know I live with Mother. I'm speaking of my budgets for entertainment. You already know all about me in that regard, diary. Let's just say those pony figurines and pop heads aren't going to acquire themselves. Anyway, today's objective is to attract a female, diary, and I have the perfect plan. I'm here in the corner of the food court, looking thoughtful and mysterious among the sea of miscreant chads. They're here in droves, diary. I haven't bathed in 8 days so as to maximize my pheromone spread. All I have to do is wait. It's basic laws of nature. I've made sure to bring my laptop to write to you, diary, as well as a textbook on thermodynamics, which I pilfered from the library just for this very purpose. I couldn't decide between leaving the cover facing up or having the whole book open to a middle page. I've opted for cover up so the title shows. I don't know how I could appear more intellectual. This is foolproof, diary. This plan will surely weed out the vacuous Stacys, common females too dumb to understand the smorgasbord of desirability I've lain, and at last attract a mate worthy of my genetics and intellect. You know, I find the idea of relationships so strange, diary. Frankly, the idea of monogamy repulses me entirely. I'm the king of my own castle, don't you know? The master of my domain, so why should I not be deserving of several partners? Selecting only one person with whom to mate, live, and die seems so archaic, diary. It is the modern era, after all, and competition is at an all-time high for, shall we say, sowing one's oats. You got me, diary. Any female would only be so lucky to obtain my oats. That's why I hold all the cards. They'll come in droves to my field, craving part of a complete breakfast, a romp in the rice paddies, but only afterward will they find that it lay barren. That's right, diary, I've gone ahead with the procedure. My eyesight took a few days to return after cobbling together the final reserves of my genetic account, which now reside safely in my freezer. At least I know my genes are no longer subject to misappropriation. King of my castle as I am, there's still the matter of mother and the basement door. Perchance technically I'm more of a lord or knight, still under dominion, yet with domination of my own domain. Maybe one day I'll get around to fully barricading the basement door and digging myself a dirt staircase through the wall up to the backyard, thereby truly ascending to full royalty, legitimized with the ability to at last use the phrase, my place. I'll basically be a homeowner. Oh, diary, I'm getting excited just thinking about it, and what an experience it will be. Bringing several females home to my estate, I mean. I've already been practicing the smirk I'll give to others when I casually slip the phrase, one of my girlfriends, into normal conversations. Sorry, diary, I was just perusing through my binoculars at the finest specimen. Her hair, golden like summer peaches doused in warm silken honey. Her bosom, ample and handsome. Her hips, ideal for spawn, should the time come. Excellent. This is excellent. And look, she's sat just 7 tables away from me, eating what appears to be a triple hazelnut gelato. This calls for drastic measures. This USB fan will do well to waft my scent her way. Her smaller brain won't even know what hit her, but it will run my code like a virus and summon her hence before she even realizes she's risen from her chair. I'll then introduce myself, stroking her hair. I'll say something smooth, something clever. You know, I'd be eating gelato all by myself too if I looked like that. It sounds complimentary, diary, but I'm really just negging her. It's what those online pickup gurus say to do. Create and then capitalize on the tiniest insecurities, and fester them just below the threshold of noticeability. Chads as they are, I must admit that is an excellent strategy. Females are groomed from birth to please, be subordinate, and ignore how they feel. Finally, something useful religion has contributed to society, right, diary? So she'll be compelled to doubt herself and chase me. And that is how we kick off Act 1, Phase 2, diary. The chase. Females live for courtship, diary. I was perusing on the dark web recently, and happened to sunder a theory denoting that some females, as recently as the late 19th century, are descendants of a half-human, half-butterfly species, which purportedly explains present-day females' nymph-like beauty and their proclivities towards patterns, be they textiles or behaviors. On the outside, these butterfly women had normal human bodies and enormous butterfly wings on their backs. Inside, however, complete bug brains, which still explains a lot if you think about it, diary, and ingrained therein was the insect's natural compulsion for migration. But this feature, if you could call it that, began to degrade after the extinction. The theory posits that what used to be the survivalistic drive of migration is now the less potent but still palpable expectation of courtship when selecting a mate. The chase is all about disrupting this to confuse her, to keep her waiting around for it. Some days I'll show up with flowers and chocolates and perchance offer to let her watch anime with me for as long as she wants. Other days I'll be cold and distant, perchance spending the entire day sequestered in my garage, grinding my blades aloft the sharpening stone or what have you. Her human instincts will compound with her insect instincts to close the gap, but I'll always find a way from letting it. After several months or even a year of this, it will be impossible for her to leave me. Then it's back to them all, to rinse and repeat, ad infinitum. Sorry for the delay, Diary. I'm just getting a little impatient as to why she's not come over to me yet. Yes, Diary, I know I should have brought more fans. If Mother hadn't thrown away my vape last week, I'd resort to playing dirty, wafting a gentle cloud of buttery cinnamon-scented arousal her way. Yes, Diary, I too thought it was befitting how they spelled cinnamon beginning with S-I-N. Such heathens we are. It appears she's about done with her gelato. Yes, Diary, I think she's finished. She's collecting her things. This could be it, Diary. The moment we've been waiting for. My plan has worked flawlessly. Yes, she's standing. She's walking to the rubbish receptacle. In goes the container. In goes the spoon. Ah, yes, she's turned away from me to announce her submission to my courting ritual. It was textbook, Diary. And now she's walking away. This might be an encore performance demonstrating her fitness for procreation by showing me her voluptuous... Well, now she's just gotten on the escalator. She didn't even glance my way, come to think of it. How could she not have noticed? I've followed all the rules. This play should have ended in applause, yet she's walked out before the end of the first act. Why are all women like this, Diary? Why can't a nice guy like me... You're right, Diary. The last thing I need is more medical debt because of another... episode. Perhaps I'll stay unemployed forever, renouncing a life of wage slavery, thereby dodging the garnishments that will invariably fund the purchase of some... I don't know, diamond-encrusted golf clubs for some Dr. Smackety-Smack out there, or what have you. I'm so dismayed, Diary. What a melancholy day this has become. Well, it oughtn't be a complete loss. One moment, Diary. I'm back, Diary. I managed to abscond with her spoon from the rubbish receptacle. No, Diary, I didn't just reach in and grab it. I cleverly feigned tripping over my shoelaces, in my Crocs no less, though I don't expect NPCs to notice such inconsistencies, stumbling my way over to the rubbish receptacle and, through my clumsiness, accidentally throwing away my cellular phone. Silly me, I announced. The looks on their faces, Diary, I swear. TLDR, I acquired her spoon, which has got to be rife with her DNA. Perhaps I'll consume the streaks of gelato she left on this spoon, thereby infusing her genetic code with mine. Perchance we'll encounter each other in the future, and she'll realize there's something undeniably familiar about me to her. Any feature transformations are sure to have taken by then, Diary. My hair may lighten or even fully return, ever so slightly resembling hers. By combining our genes, in essence, I'll be a walking incarnation of our hypothetical child. Sensing this, her mothering instincts will kick in, overriding those pesky insect urges, and she'll have no choice but to take care of me. Imagine that, Diary. She my caretaker, and I her lover. So with this communion, Diary, I am become she! Alas, Diary. Plain vanilla. The streaks I believe to be her triple hazelnut are definitely not but hot fudge atop a layer of cream-colored vanilla gelato. This isn't her spoon. This isn't her DNA coursing through me. What have I done? I'll speak with you at another time, Diary. I've got some thinking to do.